Filming from beautiful Oahu, right off the balcony of my condo that I'm renting for the week. So, hey, I wanted to kind of talk about 2022 from the perspective of a sports card collector. 2022 is kind of became known as the year of the fall. Sports card values dropped tremendously in 2022, but it created a great opportunity for collectors because if you go back to COVID and you saw how much the prices spiked, 2022 kind of represented the opposite of that, where things really went down. Some things went down to like pre-COVID prices. Some things are still higher. Um, but I kind of realized in 2022 that, there were some cards that I felt like I missed out on during the spike. Not because I think that, oh, this is some sort of like crazy awesome investment, I want to make a bunch of money. Because again, I don't really view cards as an investment. Instead, I missed out because I actually wanted to have them in my collection. And when the prices went so high, I felt like I kind of missed out. So what I'm going to do, I went and looked back at all my purchases from 2022. And so I'm going to show you those pickups. And I know a lot of people do the year-end pickup videos and things like that. I think the idea is really cool. I think it's kind of a good way to kind of document, hey, these are the types of things that I was collecting at that time. And these are the things that I picked up that, were hits for my collection, and some things that I maybe go down even further and you end up regretting later because you could have got them cheaper. And so some of the types of cards that I'm going to show you during mine, I'll say this too, a lot of people have specific numbers. I'm going to say mine is 20 or below, so maybe the sub 20 card pickups from 2022. And so types of names on my pickup list. So LeBron James, of course, is a guy that I had picked up a few cards of. I even tried to pick up a LeBron rookie card raw off of eBay to be sent in to get graded. So I'll show you that and let you know how that turned out. Kevin Durant is another guy. I picked up a nice couple of Kevin Durant cards, a couple gold Kevin Durant rookie cards, so I want to show you those as well. Those are cards that I really enjoy in my collection. Jason Tatum. I picked up a nice Tatum card after those had dropped quite a bit. I think they've either stayed steady or maybe you've dropped a little bit more since I bought mine, but I'm happy with the one that I have in my collection. Also, did pick up some Luka rookie cards. Picked up a couple nice Lukas that I'd like to show you, as well as a Magic Johnson second year card. Those second year Magic cards are pretty wild. People during COVID realized, like, hey, this second year Magic card is his first standalone card, and these cards are pretty awesome. And a PSA 8 of that card went over $1,000 during COVID. It was absolutely crazy. And so after those prices came back down to normal, I picked up a nice copy of that card. It's not PSA though. It's of a different brand, so I'll show you that one as well. Trevor Lawrence also made my list. Big on Trevor Lawrence. And so I picked up a couple of his cards. Giannis also. Giannis, I picked up an autograph of his that I think you'll enjoy. It's actually really low pop. People have different opinions on pop reports and stuff like that, but we'll talk some about that. I'll show you that card as well. And then Trae Young makes the list. I picked up a nice Trae Young card. His cards are way down. And then at the end of the list, I'll show you a baseball card that I picked up. I'm not big into baseball, but I made an exception for this Alex Rodriguez rookie. That's one of my favorite baseball cards of all time. So I hope you enjoy this year in review of my pickups from 2022.
All right, so over the last year or so, I've become more of a travel minimalist, and I don't really like to take a lot of extra stuff with me when I'm on vacation. So I'm actually filming the 2022 cards for the review back in Alaska, and the final count is at 14. So I'm going to go ahead and get the ball rolling here. First one is a Trevor Lawrence. This is a Prism Rookie Gear jersey card. Not an exact color match, but somewhat of a color match here. I don't know, I just really like this card. It's pretty cheap. Now I'm filming this after the Jags Chargers, so go Jags. But just like the design of that card. So we'll start there. Next one is the only baseball card in this video. It's one of my all-time favorite baseball cards. It is the 1994 SP Alex Rodriguez in a 9. If you know anything about this particular card, it's got condition issues typically, and this one was able to get a 9. There's typically a corner or corners. They got dings on them. This one's got a little bit of a ding here. You can kind of almost see it on the camera here. Corners are 8.5. But got a 9. It's a card I've liked for a long time. I actually got to get this one re-slabbed, and more than likely, because there's a crack in the case on the front, and there's a crack here on the back. So I'm going to need to get that one re-slabbed, but one of my all-time favorite baseball cards. So I picked that one up in 2022. Prices on those had come back down to earth after COVID times. Another guy on the list, Trae Young, as mentioned when I was in Hawaii. I really like the Optic Holos, and Trae Young's card values are way, way, way down, so thought it was a good time to pick up a 9. So it's an Optic Holo Trae Young rookie card. Another guy that I had mentioned previously was Jason Tatum. This is a Optic Holo as well. You know, and holos are not numbered. But think along the lines, if you collected years ago, think along the lines of like a refractor. That's really what you're looking at with these holos. But these have come down quite a bit in price as well. Decided it was a good time to pick one of those up. Move these up a little. Moving on to LeBron James, there's 2 LeBron cards. One is a 2003-2004 Fleer Ultra, 2003-2004, excuse me, Fleer Ultra Gold Medallion, LeBron James rookie card. These are not numbered. The true rookie card of LeBron James in Fleer Ultra that year is numbered to 500. So this is not a true rookie, but it's from his rookie year. Now this is BGS with no subgrades. You notice there's no subs on the back. People have some pretty strong feelings about buying cards without subgrades from BGS. I get why people don't like it. Like if there's an issue with a card or if it's a lower grade, you want to know why. It really doesn't bother me. And cards like this that you can buy cheaper because it doesn't have subgrades right here, like this Alex Rodriguez does. See how it's got the subgrade, centering, edges, corner, surface. So this is a service option with BGS to not have the subgrades. It's cheaper. Some people just really don't like that, but you know, if I really like the card, I'll buy them without subgrades. And if I save a lot of money doing it, I'll definitely do it. So not something that really bothers me when I'm buying cards, if it's a card I really like. So this was the card that I had mentioned that I had bought raw. I bought this raw on eBay, and it looked really good. There's a touch of wear on a corner. I don't remember exactly which one. It's kind of hard to pick up here. There's a touch of wear right up here. It's hard to see on the camera, but there is a little bit of touch of wear there. Anyways, I paid a couple $100 for it. It looked really good. I sent it to PSA, and it got a 9. There aren't a whole lot of PSA 10s with this card because a lot of the card is black along the edges and the corners, and so if there's any damage whatsoever, you can see that white show up pretty dramatically, and so it tends to drop these down a little bit. So I was pretty happy with a 9 on that LeBron card. Moving on to Luka. You know, if you haven't watched my first video, it's on my Luka Doncic PC and how I kind of built up a lot of those cards really on the ground floor. And this is a Chronicles Phoenix that I picked up in 2022. It's PSA 10. She got these out of those Chronicles packs as well. Really like this card. I pulled one of these from a blaster box, but I had a big scratch like along the side here, like below his knees there, just a big scratch. And so I thought, well, I'd like to have a 10 because I like these cards that are a little shinier, and but those defects really tend to show up pretty dramatically. So I really wanted to get a 10, and prices had dropped quite a bit, so I had a chance to pick that up. Second and final Luka card from my 2022 pickups is also from Chronicles, but this is a really tough card. This is an Elite Black Box, red, number to 149. Now, the issue with these cards is that, it's a thicker card, number one. Number two, it's black and gray around almost the entire card here, and so you can see some white. Like, you can actually see that. You can see white on the corners of this card really pretty easily. And so normally these don't grade out real well. So an 8.5 with this card is pretty decent. And this is a CSG graded card at an 8.5. No subgrades, but just kind of a tough card. And I kind of like these slabs. They're super clear. This card fits really well in it. It is a thicker card, so the slab's a little bit thicker. But I'm pretty happy with this one. This is graded by CSG. Yeah, kind of a cool Luka. Pretty tough one. All right, I mentioned this card on the video, and I really kind of like the story of these cards being a roller coaster. It's the 81-82 Topps Magic Johnson second year card, also graded by CSG. So I had a PSA 8 of one of these, and the prices just absolutely skyrocketed. It went up over $1,000, and I ended up making a trade. I got one of those Luka cards, I think, in return, and got a good trade value out of it. And then when the prices came back down, this card was under $100. PSAs were still a little bit higher, but I got this card for under $100. And the quality of this card, in my opinion, looks as good as my PSA 8. I mean, it looks pretty solid. Looks like there's a little bit of a corner ding up here. I kind of dropped it because the front of it looks really good. There is a little ding there on the back, but it's a CSG 8. So I was able to pick this up. If you're patient with cards, oftentimes you'll see them kind of go through some peaks and valleys. The bummer is if you kind of predict wrong and a card peaks and then levels out and doesn't come back down, then it can be kind of a problem. But didn't have that issue with the Magic second year card. That is his first standalone card, because his rookie card is with Larry Bird and Dr. J. And so that's kind of what makes that card a little more unique. Moving on to gold. I've been a Durant fan. I showed a Durant card in my first video right there in the intro. It's a card that got me back into collecting. And so I bought a copy of the 57-58 variation from his rookie year. It's also gold. It's numbered 2007. Centering on these are pretty tough. This one's got a corner issue there as well, but they're numbered to 2007. So they're pretty tough cards, and these drop quite a bit too. And this is actually an SGC graded card. So I've got cards from a variety of companies. I'd say probably overall more PSA than anything. But when I find cards that I like and they're at really good prices, I'll buy them in other holders. They're for my personal collection. So it's a Durant Gold. This next card I showed in a previous video. This is a Topps Gold Kevin Durant. So I'm showing this because this is the one that I pulled myself back in 2007-08. I pulled it out of a hobby box, got it graded, and got an 8. I like this card so much that when Kevin Durant prices dropped significantly in 2022, I went ahead and bought another copy. It's also an 8. I just couldn't help it. The prices dropped quite a ways, and I really liked that card. And one came up at auction, and I went ahead and put in a bid, and I actually won it. So I got 2 of those. I guess the only thing better than having one Top School Kevin Durant rookie is grading a PSA 8 is 2, I guess. So I got 2 of them. So one of those is a pickup from 2022. 2 cards left. We're going to close out with Giannis. Speaking of gold, this is a Hoops Gold Giannis rookie. This card went up quite a bit during COVID, during the spike, and I remember being pretty disappointed that I never did get around to picking one of these up. Subs on this one are pretty high. It's a BGS 9, but there's 2 9s and 2 9.5s. You know, if you have 3 9.5s and a 9, then it's a 9.5 overall. So it's really close. It's like half point away. But I finally got around to getting this card. It was more expensive than pre-COVID, that's for sure, but it did drop quite a bit. So I decided, well, might as well just go ahead and get one. So I picked this up. This is one of my favorite pickups from 2022. And then the last card, as I move these cards around all over the place here, the last card that I picked up from 2022 that is of note, and it is my favorite card of 2022. Sticking with Giannis, this is a 2017-18 Prestige Bonus Shots Signatures Crystal Giannis autograph. Just a really, really cool card. You know, it says crystal. It's kind of like a cracked ice is what best thing I could compare it to. So it's a Giannis autograph. Autograph's graded a 10 on the back. Card's graded a 9. So when you look at this, sometimes the autographs grades are on the back. No subs on this one. I didn't really care. I don't remember what the pop is. I did look it up at one point. There's not a lot of these. It's a tough card. And my thing with this is cards are like anything else. Cards are worth what people are willing to pay for them. I put in an offer that was pretty significantly below asking, and it was accepted. And I was super pumped to be able to get this card. So this is my favorite pickup of 2022. So, you know, I hope you even enjoyed this video here. I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Hawaii the end of 2022 and into 2023. Really enjoyed my vacation. So I want to take some time here now that I'm back and kind of settled back in and back to work and stuff to be able to finish off the 2022 review. I will have some of my collecting goals for 2023 and some recent pickups of Trevor Lawrence actually coming up in my next video. So I hope that everybody's year is off to a great start. Hey, if you haven't already, and if you like this type of content, if you can like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm really trying to grow my channel because I really enjoy sharing some of my cards and experiences with other collectors. And just remember that whether you're in Alaska or anywhere else in the world, the opportunities for collecting sports cards are endless.